Hello, I'm Helen from Journal with Purpose and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I thought I'd do a little journal with me session. So I'm just going to have a dig through some of my supplies and just have a think about what feels good at the moment. That's one of the ways I like to start off most of my journaling sessions. Just think about the type of mood I'm in. Do I want to get out lots of paints and colours and get really messy, or do I just want to play with some papers and perhaps do some collaging? So that's always my starting point. And I'm feeling in quite a relaxed kind of mood today, perhaps not getting too messy, but I really hope you enjoy the video. For my journaling, I'm going to use a standard size traveller's notebook insert. I thought it'd also be fun to use some of the goodies that I shared in my latest Stationery Pal unboxing video. I've managed to put most of the little packs of paper, stickers and ephemera in here. So I'm just going to have a look through some of the things I got in that and start adding some elements to my page. There's lots of lovely papers in here, and as you can see from some of the torn edges, I've already started using some of them in my other journal pages. As I mentioned, I thought it'd be nice just to do a kind of relaxing one today where I'm playing around with different papers. And I really like these where you've got some hints of writing on the back of the paper. And I try not to overthink things when I'm doing this kind of journaling. I just look at some of the different papers and decide what I think might go nicely together. And anything like this just to me has interesting little bits of text, or I like the colour. So just looking to see what I'm drawn to. We took our little dog Barney to the vets this morning just for his annual jabs, but he really does not like going to the vets. I think it's got worse since the pandemic, when we didn't used to be able to go in with him. And yeah, I definitely felt the need to come back and do something relaxing and just unwind after that this morning, but he's all done and absolutely fine. For such a little dog, he's got a lot of strength when something's been done to him that he really doesn't want doing. So I've drawn to that one tag first of all in that colour, and that's definitely kind of led me down a certain path when looking through these papers, which is actually really useful because it helps you to kind of pick and choose what you're looking for. And I just love different papers. I find them lovely to work with. And I was lucky enough to get a really nice selection in that big box that I got from Stationery Pal. So I looked through on the website and picked the things that I wanted, but you're never quite sure how things are going to be until they arrive, but really happy with all of those. So I think I'm going to do collage mostly on this left hand page, and I'll also want to pick some kind of focal image to go on there. I've used some of these papers as well actually, and they're absolutely gorgeous. It's got really lovely textures on them. In fact, I might pop a little bit of that behind one of the elements too. I think this one looks particularly nice when it's torn because you get all those kind of fluffy edges coming out of the outside of it. So I'm just playing around, deciding where I want things. Okay. I think I'm going to glue those down for starters and then have a look at what kind of focal image I want. And for gluing them down, I'm going to be using Pritt Stick, and I'm going to quickly just make some little marks around the pieces that I've put down in the hope that I put them back in vaguely the same place that I've just put them on my page, but I'm really not going to worry too much. So now I've got the main parts of my collage done, I'm going to start having a look for what other elements I want to add on top. And I noticed in this little pack it's actually got an August label on it, so I thought that would be nice. In fact, I might put that right at the top of the page. And in this little pack, it's kind of fabricy and lace looking embellishments. So I thought, again, I've used a couple of these on some of my journal pages. That night after I'd filmed the unboxing, I was so keen to get using things because it had taken me a couple of weeks from when the box arrived to get the filming done, and I just really wanted to start using everything. So I'm just going to have a look through a couple of these and see what I think might work best. I really like that kind of little fabric doily, so that's adorable. But I think if I look for perhaps a focal image from this pack, I do like that. In fact, I think that looks really nice. I think those colours tie in beautifully, so I'm going to put this little doily down and then glue this one on top. And adding little collages to my page is definitely one of my favourite ways to just get started with a journaling session. I find it just really relaxing, and it's a great way to add lots of decoration quite quickly onto your journal pages. I thought it'd also be nice to add some stamping. So I think I'm going to use this floral set. And I've used this one already, but with any new stamps, I tend to stamp them onto a piece of scrap paper first. So I've got one here, hoping I find a bit of space to do a bit of stamping on there. So I'm just going to mount that onto the acrylic block. It is slightly bigger than the block that I've got out, but I think it should be okay. Because they can be kind of just a little bit waxy or oily when you first get them, it's always worth doing a stamp first onto some scrap paper, though on journals, if they're a bit bulky like mine is, you don't always get the cleanest print anyway, but I just try and get rid of some of that residue first. In fact, that's stamped absolutely fine on there. But say this side of my journal is really quite bulky now, so I'm not expecting anything too perfect. I just thought it'd be nice to have a hint of it on top of that collage. And the ink that I'm using is black StazOn ink. And this is quite shiny, so it might not take to that at all, but we'll see how we get on. Oh, I really like that. That just gives a little bit of interest. It's lost a little bit of the stamping there, but that's fine. And I really liked this leaf one as well. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of stamping along the bottom here, and then possibly some along my right hand page too. And now I've got that border added, I think I might balance out my page with a little bit of stamping here too. I think I might use that pretty butterfly stamp. And I'm now just going to have a quick kind of look through my watercolour paints to see if I've got anything which might tie in really nicely with the colours I've used over here. I found a couple of paints which might work. These are from Kuretake Gansai Tambi. I think this one will be the closest, but it might be a little bit bright, so I'm thinking of just mixing it up slightly with that darker blue, and also using perhaps a little hint of brown. And again, these paintbrushes came from my Stationery Pal unboxing, and I know a couple of you asked me to just comment on how I've got on with the brushes. I have already used a few of them a couple of times, and I've got on with them really well so far, so I'm sure you'll definitely be seeing these in my future videos. And hopefully, I know some of the comments were also about that you're looking forward to seeing everything in use. It just gives you a better feel for the different products. So again, I hope that's been helpful today to see how I've used some of the things I got in my unboxing. Okay, I'm quite happy with that colour I've mixed there. And so I think I'm just going to have a hint of brown that I might use as well, just to tie in with some of those papers. Okay. Okay, so I'm not planning on doing anything particularly special here. I just wanted to add a little hint of colour to some parts of the stamping, and that Stays On ink is waterproof, so it's perfect for being able to add watercolour over the top of. I'm going to drop a little bit of the brown into each of these blues as well. And that's really just to give it a little bit of variation and tone down that blue. And I'm going to do the same with each of the leaf stamps and also on the butterflies as well. I'm really pleased with how that paint has dried. I think the brown has muted down the blue really nicely and ties in well with the colours from the collage. So I'm now just going to add, pop the date next to here and add a quote on this page, and for this I'll be using a Tombow Furinosuke brush pen with a firm nib. And now that I've got all of my decoration and quotes added to my page, I'm going to finish off by adding my journal writing. Well, that's my journal pages all finished. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the process of how they came together, and that perhaps it gives you some ideas for using in your own journal too. As always, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined me over on Patreon, and thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking with you again really soon.